Hey guys. So I actually just wanted to talk about something real quick, having to do with like singing. So I think it's been maybe a year and a half now. Um, I started to, well, I started vocal lessons, but it got really expensive. So uh, pretty consistently every week, at least once or twice a week, I've been doing at home vocal work using Madeline Harvey's videos, who I highly recommend. Of course, the ideal is to work with a professional directly so that they can kind of help you, but just cost wise right now is not super possible for me. So I think, in my opinion, following her videos is really helpful. Um, anyway, so I've been doing the work and I was still struggling a lot with, um, and I will tell you, I definitely had a lot of tongue tension when I started. Um, And I noticed that even though I was doing the work, my voice was getting, or my cords were getting fatigued really easily. Um, and I couldn't figure out why. And of course, like I'm not seeing a professional, so there is that. But it made me think, okay, kind of weird, because I can tell that I was really working on form and ensuring that I was trying to, release tongue tension and work on that and all of that stuff. So anyway, long story short, um, and this is not going to be the case for everybody, but I wanted to bring this up because I don't know how many people think about this because I had to sort of discover this on my own. But I've, for a lot of time in my adult years, have had TMJ dysfunction or temporomandibular disorder. Sorry, temporomandibular joint dysfunction, which falls under Temporomandibular Disorders, which is TMD, which it's like an umbrella term. Um, and so a lot of it for me was on my left side, um, mostly. And the interesting thing is that's where a lot of the fatigue was. The right side, I would be pretty much fine. The left side, I would do a warm up and it would get fatigued. Um, so anyway, I went to get, and I've done this a few years ago. It had just been a while because cost. I actually went to get Botox injections at my dentist for the TMJ, the pain that was coming with it. Um, and I will say I've definitely had on this side as well. I get a lot of like tooth pain. I get headaches that are more on this side. Um, and I will tell you, I got the Botox injections maybe think it's been like a month now, and there's such a like visceral, I don't know if that'd be the word, but there's such a difference in the fatigue levels when I practice, when I sing, when I'm doing warm ups. It feels so much better. And that tightness that you get from, or that you can get from TMJ, is so much better. I feel like I can get through the different pitches so much easier, whereas before it really felt like I couldn't even, it was just so tight. I couldn't get through them. And so I just wanted to make this video. I do think I'm going to make a video that's more in depth on TMJ, TMD, and and maybe its relation to singing, because I think, I was doing research and trying to figure out why I was struggling so much, and so much of it, and understandably, was form and tongue tension, and that is all valid. And so I don't want this to be used as like an excuse for not working on those things, but I think it's something to consider, especially if you've had that sort of pain for a while, or if you have known TMJ dysfunction or some other uh, disorder under that umbrella term of TMD. um, so yeah, just wanted to give you guys that sort of insight. It's helped me a lot, and of course, the Botox is something that I will have to get. I know my dentist has said that every 4 months is somewhat average, but everybody's different. She told me to come in when I start feeling some of that. I clench a lot and I grind my teeth. And so when I start feeling that pain related to that, she said to come in. So again, if you're on, I mean, I think it's important to know about this generally. But if you're on like a singing journey or you're just starting, or maybe you've been a singer for a long time, I think this is something that maybe isn't talked about enough. I tried to do research into it and couldn't find, until I knew exactly what I was searching for, like searching for TMJ and singing, then some things started coming up. But when I was putting in, why are my chords getting so fatigued and things like that, there was never any mention of TMJ. So I think there's information out there once you have an idea of it. But if it's not even something that you're thinking about, it's hard to find that as like a possible reason to look into. Um, so yeah, and like I said, I do want to make a video more into that because I found it really interesting when I started looking more into TMJ dysfunction and TMD, how much you might feel the pain here, but how much it affects all of this, which makes sense once you think about it. So anyway, just wanted to talk about that really briefly and give you my sort of take on it. I know it was very frustrating for me that I couldn't understand. And I knew in my bones that there was something else going on. Um, and I still continue to work on all of the tongue tension and the tightness and being able to, relax and all of those things. Those are highly important, but I felt like my foundation, I wasn't starting on a good foundation because I was already tight just from the things I was experiencing from the TMJ dysfunction. So anyway, I hope that it was helpful to somebody, but please keep an eye out for the video that goes more in depth on it, and I will see you guys in the next one.